In every generation, there comes an artist whose music transcends borders, languages, and time itself. An artist whose voice becomes more than entertainment, it becomes the soundtrack of a people, the heartbeat of a nation. For Uganda, that artist is none other than Jose Chameleone. From his early days on the streets of Kampala to commanding some of the biggest stages across Africa, Chameleone has carried with him a gift, the rare ability to connect deeply with fans from all walks of life. His music speaks of love, struggle, unity, and hope. And through decades of consistency, he has built a legacy that rightfully earns him the title, the living legend of Ugandan music. But Chameleone's story is not just about songs and fame. It is about resilience, about daring to dream when the odds were stacked against him. It is about shaping an industry, inspiring the next generation, and proving that Ugandan music can stand tall on the global stage. Today, we take a closer look at his journey, the highs, the challenges, and the remarkable impact of a man who turned his voice into a cultural force. This is Jose Chameleone, the living legend of Ugandan music. Early life and background. Every legend has a beginning. And for Jose Chameleone, that beginning takes us back to the heart of Uganda, where his story first unfolded. Born Joseph Mayanja on April 30, 1979, in Kampala, Uganda, he grew up in a modest family with strong values and deep cultural roots. Music was not just background noise in his childhood, it was part of daily life. The rhythms of traditional Ugandan sounds, the melodies of African beats, and the influences of global music on the radio all began to shape a young boy's imagination. Like many children of his generation, Joseph's upbringing was marked by both challenges and dreams. Growing up in a country finding its identity after years of struggle, he learned early the importance of resilience, of adapting, and of holding on to hope. It was in this environment that his passion for music first revealed itself. Friends and family remember him as a curious, creative child, always eager to sing along, to mimic sounds, and to experiment with rhythm. These small moments, though unnoticed by many at the time, were the first sparks of a fire that would later burn across Africa. Education played its part too. At school, Joseph balanced his studies with a growing love for performance. While others saw a young boy with talent, he was beginning to see something bigger, a calling. A vision that music could not only be his escape, but also his way of speaking to the world. The streets of Kampala would soon become his training ground. Singing at gatherings, experimenting with instruments, and learning from local musicians, Joseph Mayanja began the transformation into the artist we now celebrate as Jose Chameleone. This was the foundation, the humble beginning of a journey that would one day make him a household name, not only in Uganda but across Africa and beyond. Breakthrough moment. Every great legend has that one defining moment, the moment when the dream becomes reality. For Joseph Mayanja, now calling himself Jose Chameleone, that moment arrived at the dawn of the new millennium. In the late 1990s, Chameleone made the bold decision to cross the border into Kenya. It was a move that would change everything. Nairobi, at the time, was a musical hub for East Africa, a place where dreams were tested, and only the most determined could survive. For Chameleone, it was both a risk and an opportunity. There, in the studios of Agopa DJs, one of the most influential music production houses in East Africa, his sound began to take shape. It was fresh, it was daring, it was a blend of reggae, Afrobeat, and Ugandan rhythms that nobody had heard before. And in 2000, with the release of Mamma Mia, Jose Chameleone's breakthrough moment arrived. The song was an instant hit. From Nairobi to Kampala, from Tanzania to Rwanda, Mamma Mia lit up radio waves and dance floors. Fans were captivated by the raw energy of his voice, the storytelling in his lyrics, and the unique fusion of styles that made his sound stand apart. For the first time, a Ugandan artist was competing on a regional level, and Chameleone was at the very center of that revolution. Overnight, he became more than just another musician. He became a household name, a rising star whose music carried both the struggles and the celebrations of East African life. And with every performance, his legend began to grow. But that breakthrough was only the beginning. Jose Chameleone had opened the doors, not just for himself, but for Uganda's music to travel beyond borders, setting the stage for a career that would span decades. Musical style and influence. Jose Chameleone is more than a singer. He is a musical architect, a man who built a sound that would forever redefine Uganda's place in African music. His style is not bound by one genre. Instead, it is a rich fusion, a delicate mix of Afrobeat, reggae, zouk, dancehall, and traditional Ugandan rhythms. This versatility earned him the name Chameleone, for just like the creature, he could adapt to different sounds, different moods, and different audiences. What makes his music so powerful is the storytelling. Chameleone doesn't just sing, he speaks to life. His songs capture love and heartbreak, joy and struggle, unity and hope. Whether it is an anthem that fills stadiums, or a heartfelt ballad that speaks to a single soul, his music resonates because it is honest. It reflects the real experiences of everyday people, but his influence goes far beyond melodies. Chameleone opened doors for an entire generation of Ugandan musicians. At a time when East African music was dominated by Kenya and Tanzania, he gave Uganda a new voice, a new sound that could compete regionally and globally. His boldness to experiment and innovate set a standard, showing young artists that Ugandan music could cross borders, dominate charts, and capture international audiences. From club hits that keep people dancing into the night, to socially conscious songs that carry messages of peace, unity, and resilience, Chameleone has used music as both celebration and education. His style became a movement, one that inspired not only his fans, but also fellow musicians to dream bigger, to push further, and to tell their own stories through song. Through his adaptability, his fearless creativity, and his undeniable presence, Jose Chameleone has become more than just an artist. He is a teacher, a pioneer, and a living symbol of Uganda's musical pride. Career highlights. Jose Chameleone's career is a tapestry woven with unforgettable moments, timeless songs, and milestones that forever shaped Uganda's music industry. After his breakthrough hit, Mamma Mia, in the year 2000, the floodgates of success opened wide. Chameleone became a regional sensation, releasing back-to-back hits that kept his name on the lips of fans across East Africa. Tracks like Kipapepo, Shida Za Dunia, and Valu Valu became anthems, songs that dominated radio charts, filled dance floors, and echoed from Kampala to Nairobi, from Kigali to Dar es Salaam. His stage presence was unmatched. Concert after concert, Chameleone pulled in massive crowds, proving that his music was not just heard, it was experienced. He headlined some of the biggest shows in Uganda, including his legendary solo concerts, which drew tens of thousands of loyal fans year after year. Awards and recognition soon followed. He won multiple accolades at the Pearl of Africa Music Awards, the Kora Awards, and East African Music Awards, cementing his place among the continent's elite. His name stood alongside Africa's biggest stars, yet he remained deeply connected to his Ugandan roots. But perhaps his greatest highlight is the longevity of his career. For over 2 decades, Chameleone has stayed relevant in an ever-changing music industry. While trends shifted, he adapted. While new stars emerged, he reinvented himself. Few artists managed to stay at the top for so long, but Chameleone did, and continues to do so. Beyond the music, his influence reached international stages. He represented Uganda in global concerts, collaborated with African greats, and carried his country's flag with pride. Each performance abroad was not just entertainment, it was a statement that Ugandan music belonged on the world stage. From humble beginnings in Kampala to becoming a continental powerhouse, Jose Chameleone's career highlights are not just moments of personal triumph, they are milestones in Uganda's cultural history. They remind us that true legends are defined not only by their hits, but by their ability to inspire, to uplift, and to leave behind a legacy that outlives them. Challenges and resilience. Behind the glitz, the roaring crowds, and the endless hits, lies another side of Jose Chameleone's story. A side filled with challenges, battles, and moments that tested his spirit. Chameleone's journey to greatness was never a straight line. With fame came scrutiny, and with success came pressure. Over the years, he faced controversies that shook his image, moments when his character was questioned, and when critics were louder than the applause. There were personal struggles too. Like many artists, Chameleone juggled the heavy weight of fame with the delicate balance of family and personal life. Misunderstandings, public feuds, and the constant glare of the spotlight threatened to overshadow his achievements. And then, there were the physical trials. In 2008, during a tour in Tanzania, Chameleone suffered a life-threatening accident when he reportedly fell from a hotel balcony. It was a moment that could have ended everything, his career, his dreams, even his life. Yet, he fought through recovery with the same determination that had fueled his rise from the dusty streets of Kampala. Financial battles, industry politics, and even bans on some of his shows all tested his resilience. But each time, Chameleone came back stronger, proving that a true legend is not defined by the number of times he falls, but by the number of times he rises. His resilience became his trademark. Where others would have given up, he pressed on. Where many artists faded with time, he reinvented himself. And where challenges threatened to dim his light, Chameleone used them as fuel to shine even brighter. The story of Jose Chameleone is not just one of success, it is one of survival, strength, and unwavering resilience. Through every storm, he stood tall, reminding us that true greatness is not measured by how easy the journey is, but by how unbreakable the spirit becomes along the way. Current work and relevance. Even after more than 2 decades in the spotlight, Jose Chameleone remains a force to be reckoned with. His journey is not trapped in the past, it is alive, evolving, and still shaping the future of Ugandan music. Today, Chameleone continues to perform on some of the biggest stages, filling arenas with fans who span across generations. From the young children singing his classics, to older fans who have followed him from the very beginning, his music continues to bridge age, culture, and time. He remains active in the studio, constantly recording, experimenting, and blending modern sounds with his signature Afrobeat, reggae, and Ugandan folk influences. Unlike many artists who fade when trends change, Chameleone adapts. He collaborates with younger stars, keeps his sound fresh, and proves that legends don't just rest on their past, they reinvent themselves. But his relevance goes beyond music. Chameleone has embraced a role as a mentor, guiding and inspiring the new wave of Ugandan artists. His influence can be heard in the styles, lyrics, and performances of those who look up to him. Many of today's biggest Ugandan musicians openly credit him as their inspiration, their example, and their proof that international dreams can start right here at home. In recent years, he has also stepped into leadership and advocacy, using his voice not only to entertain, but to speak on issues that affect his country and his people. Whether through charity, social awareness, or standing up for causes he believes in, Chameleone continues to show that a true legend gives back. As the music industry changes with digital platforms, streaming, and social media, Chameleone has proven his ability to stay relevant. His name still commands respect. His songs still dominate playlists. And his concerts still draw thousands. Jose Chameleone's current work and relevance remind us that greatness is not only about where you started, or even where you peaked, it is about how you continue to matter. For Uganda, for East Africa, and for the world, Chameleone is still here, still creating, still inspiring. A living legend who refuses to fade. Personality and lifestyle, beyond the music, beyond the fame, and beyond the flashing lights. Jose Chameleone is a man of many layers. His personality and lifestyle paint a picture of an artist who is not only larger than life on stage, but deeply human off it. At his core, Chameleone is known for his charisma, that magnetic presence that draws people in wherever he goes. Whether he is performing for thousands or sharing a quiet moment with friends, he has the rare gift of making those around him feel his energy, his passion, and his authenticity. Family holds a central place in his life. A proud father and husband, Chameleone often shares glimpses of his private world, where his children and loved ones remind him of the values that truly matter. Despite the chaos of the music industry, his devotion to family has been his anchor, the place where he finds peace, balance, and inspiration. His lifestyle reflects both success and humility. Chameleone enjoys the rewards of his hard work, from stylish cars and elegant homes to the finer things that come with being one of Africa's most celebrated artists. Yet, he never forgets his roots. He often visits his community, gives back to causes close to his heart, and stays connected to the people who shaped his journey. Another defining trait of his personality is resilience. Chameleone has faced storms, both public and private, yet his determination has always carried him through. This resilience is not just seen in his career but in his daily outlook on life, a belief in never giving up, no matter the odds. Chameleone's lifestyle also reflects his role as a cultural icon. He lives at the intersection of tradition and modernity, proudly Ugandan, yet global in his vision. Whether he is dressed in sharp urban fashion or embracing African attire, his image is a statement of pride, confidence, and identity. In his personality, we see charisma and strength. In his lifestyle, we see both success and humility. And in his every action, we see a man who carries the weight of being more than an artist. He is a role model, a leader, and a living legend. Jose Chameleone's life off the stage is as inspiring as his music on it. Legacy in the making. Every legend carries with him a story that transcends time, and Jose Chameleone's story is still being written. His legacy is not just in the songs we know and love, but in the way he continues to shape the future of Ugandan music. From the moment he stepped onto the stage in the early 2000s, Chameleone proved that Ugandan music could command respect across Africa and beyond. Today, his career stands as a blueprint, a roadmap for every young artist who dreams of taking their voice from the streets of Kampala to the world stage. His legacy is visible in the new generation of artists who openly call him their mentor, their inspiration, and their standard of excellence. Through his work, he has shown them that music is not just entertainment, it is identity, it is pride, and it is power. But Chameleone's legacy is not only artistic, it is cultural. He has carried the Ugandan flag high, giving the nation a voice in a crowded global stage. He has proven that Ugandan talent deserves recognition, respect, and a permanent place in Africa's musical history. And still, his journey continues. With every performance, every collaboration, and every new song, Chameleone is adding another layer to a legacy that will live long after the lights on stage dim. His resilience, his passion, and his ability to remain relevant after decades remind us that true legends do not fade, they evolve. Jose Chameleone is more than an artist. He is a symbol of what Uganda has achieved, and what it can become. His legacy is not something of the past, it is unfolding every day, in every note, in every stage, and in every young dreamer he inspires. This is the living legend of Ugandan music. This is Jose Chameleone. Cultural and social impact. Jose Chameleone is more than a musician. He is a cultural force, a voice that echoes far beyond the stage. His music is not just entertainment, it is woven into the very fabric of Ugandan society. From the early 2000s, his songs became the soundtrack of everyday life. Weddings, celebrations, political rallies, and even quiet evenings in village homes. Chameleone's voice has been there, uniting people in moments of joy and reflection. His lyrics often touched on love, struggle, and resilience, themes that resonated deeply with ordinary Ugandans because they reflected their own realities. Culturally, he redefined what it meant to be a Ugandan artist. Before Chameleone, few musicians had taken local sound to international audiences with such boldness. He blended Luganda, Kiswahili, English, and African rhythms to create a universal sound, one that carried Uganda's voice across East Africa and the world. His music also bridged divides. In a country of many languages, tribes, and regions, Chameleone's songs became a common language. North or south, east or west, his music was for everyone, and in many ways, it became a unifying force. Beyond the music, Chameleone used his platform to spark conversations. His songs highlighted social issues, his concerts brought communities together, and his voice, whether in interviews or on stage, often spoke to the struggles and dreams of his people. He became not only an artist but a mirror, reflecting the society around him. Socially, his influence is undeniable. Young people saw in him a symbol of possibility, proof that with talent, hard work, and resilience, a boy from Kampala could rise to continental fame. He inspired countless youth not just to pursue music, but to believe in themselves, to chase their dreams, and to carry pride in the Ugandan identity. Jose Chameleone's cultural and social impact is a legacy in itself. He did not just sing for Uganda, he gave Uganda a voice. He did not just entertain, he inspired. And in doing so, he became more than a star, he became a symbol of unity, resilience, and pride for an entire nation. The future ahead. As we look to the future, one thing is certain, the story of Jose Chameleone is far from over. For more than 2 decades, he has carried the weight of being Uganda's musical pioneer, inspiring, entertaining, and opening doors for those who followed. But legends never stop writing. They continue to dream, to evolve, and to leave new footprints for others to follow. The years ahead hold exciting possibilities. Chameleone continues to record new music, proving that creativity has no expiry date. His voice, matured with time, carries even more depth. His message, sharpened by experience, resonates more powerfully than ever. He stands as a bridge, connecting the golden era of Ugandan music with the fast-rising new wave of stars. But Chameleone's future is not only about music. It is also about influence, mentorship, and legacy. More and more, he is stepping into the role of a cultural elder, guiding younger artists, shaping the industry, and reminding them that music is not just a career, but a calling. There are whispers of bigger dreams too, leadership, philanthropy, and initiatives that go beyond entertainment. Chameleone's voice may yet echo in new spaces, in community projects, in the empowerment of youth, and in carrying Uganda's story onto even bigger global stages. The future of Jose Chameleone is the future of inspiration. Whether on stage, in the studio, or in the hearts of millions, his journey reminds us that legends do not fade, they evolve. The chapters ahead may be unwritten, but one truth remains clear: the story of Jose Chameleone will continue to shape Uganda's music, culture, and identity for generations to come. As we look back on this incredible journey, one thing is clear. Jose Chameleone is not just an artist. He is a movement, a voice that has shaped Uganda's music, and a legend whose story continues to inspire. His legacy lives not only in the songs we dance to, but in the hope and pride he brings to millions of hearts. And now, dear viewer, we would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts about Jose Chameleone's journey? Which of his songs has touched your life the most? Share your views with us in the comments below. Your voice matters in keeping this story alive. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of our stories. And of course, subscribe to this channel for more powerful, inspiring journeys just like this one. Thank you for watching, thank you for your time, and thank you for being part of this community. We'll meet again tomorrow, in yet another epic video, as we continue to celebrate the icons who shaped the Pearl of Africa. Until then, stay inspired.